welcome to my channel and welcome back if you're returning. In today's video, I want to share some tips, tricks, and hacks on how to get your food photos to go from this to this. So I'm gonna walk you guys through how I take my photos, the best angles, and the best apps for editing that I use. And if you want to see some of my photos, be sure to check out my Instagram account at Sam's Food Cam. So I'll have that here or linked down below for you guys to check that out. And yeah, let's get started. So for today's photo, I am using a bowl of Cheerios. And when I take photos, I always make sure to have some utensils, in this case, 2 sizes of spoons. I have some honey for drizzling on top and milk, of course. And lastly, my camera, aka my phone. So every time before I take photos of food, I prepare the food. Because this is cereal, I'm just pouring on some milk and drizzling on some honey. The honey will add both texture and color and some more flavor. I always make sure to take pictures in front of a blank wall, and my biggest hack for you is to flip your phone upside down and use the volume up button to shoot. I always make sure to be constantly moving my utensil or the food. In this case, I keep jiggling and moving the spoon so that the milk will drip, and shooting every time I see the milk spilling so that I can get a nice shot of that milk. I just think that getting an action shot makes the photo a lot more alive than something still. I always make sure to get really close to the bowl, so flipping the camera really gets that nice angle up and close, and we're good to go. So next thing I do is I film the food as well. I usually do this for my Instagram stories, and I make sure to get up close and move the food. This usually gives it a nice perspective. And of course, I couldn't resist filming a hashtag #SamSnacks for my story on Instagram. And there's always behind the scenes eating and dancing. Let's go edit. The first thing I'll do once I get back from taking photos of food is I'll go through the photos and favorite some of them. The first app that I start with is the Foodie app. So I typically start by picking the first one. So this is our first photo that we have. And then I click on edit. So the fun thing about this app is it has filters. Literally, the name of the app is Foodie. Filters are perfect for photos of food, let me tell you. I'll share with you guys some of my favorites. So the top 2 that I go back and forth between, and it makes my feed look very consistent and clean, and it doesn't take away from the natural look of the food, which is something that I strive to do. I just like to enhance the colors rather than oversaturate the colors of food. The filters that I use is Me 2, this one, which is like a mellow number 2, and then there's this second one that is Simple 1, or SI1. So the difference between the two really is the Simple filter has a more calm, warm tone, where the mellow filter has a cooler tone. The background turns a little more blue, if you can see. So for the purpose of this one, I think that the Simple one will look really good with the Cheerios. The great thing about this is you can adjust how little or how much of the filter you want to apply. So you can do this with any of them. So I typically just leave it on 100% of the filter being applied. We are going to just save that in the corner there. So after that, I just click this arrow at the top, and then I will go back to favorites, and I'll go to the next photo. And I literally just, now that I know which filter I'm using, it's so easy from here. I just apply the filter, save, and do this for all of my favorited. The great thing about this app is that you can edit videos too. So all the videos of food that I post on my stories, I edit through this app immediately, and I save it, and it's so easy. I definitely recommend downloading this app. I love it. I use it every single day. The next app that I go to is Snapseed by Google, and I love this app too. It is also free, so all the apps that I'm sharing with you today are free and so user-friendly. I love them so much. At this point, I will pick which photo I think will fit my feed best. I really love this one, but as you can see, my finger is in the corner and that is okay. We will fix that. I love this one because I love the honey glaze on the Cheerios, and then that one perfect drop of milk coming down makes it look so good. Such a good photo. The first thing I do is I go to tools down here, and then I will click on the brush, and I usually use exposure brush, and I will keep it at 7, but you can go as high up to 1 or as low to -1, and this will darken and lighten things. So for example, if you go to the highest, it will completely brighten the whole image, and if you go all the way down to -1, it will make it darker. And the numbers in between are just like a comfortable spot for those. And then of course there is erase, so I'm going to erase that. And then I use this tool mostly for the background of my photos. I will color in the background of my photo, and it's okay if I get it on any objects that are in the middle. It doesn't have to be perfect right now because we will fix that in a second. Then from there, I will go to erase. It gets a little nitty gritty and you gotta be a little bit more careful. I will go through and erase all those spots. After that, I will check the checkbox in the corner, and we can already so far see that the background is so much brighter, and if you ever want to see your progress, you just hold down the screen. So you can already see such a big difference in this background. It brightens up the subject of the photo. It seems like it was taken in the middle of the day. After this, let's address the thumb. I have 2 ways of dealing with this. One of my tools that I love is the heel tool. I'll usually use the heel tool to touch up anything that shouldn't be there, something on the wall, something on the floor, something in my bowl. So I want to try and use it here, but I want to show you how it would be used. So let's say I don't want this drip of cereal milk, so I could just tap it and it will disappear. Honestly, it's like, where was the milk drop to begin with? It didn't exist, but because I like my little milk drop, I am keeping it. But the thing we don't like is this thumb here. If the healing tool doesn't work, I'll show you guys another way. When it's something so big like this, I will literally just drag across and hope for the best. It might look a little wonky here and edited, which I like to avoid at all costs. So we're gonna not do it this way, and I'm gonna show you another way. But the healing tool is honestly something I use all the time. The next thing I will do, I always do this, and I think this takes the photo from something that looks so simple and kind of cool to, whoa, what camera are you using? And I'm not even kidding, I get that question so much, and my answer is, my iPhone. This makes you look professional. Go back to tools, and we are going to use the perspective tool. So what I'm going to do in order to get rid of this thumb and to get that perspective that I like, that looks like it adds more depth and makes it look really cool, like you're in the bowl of cereal, I'm gonna go up a little bit to get deeper into that bowl. I change the perspective just a little bit to get it nice and close to that bowl. And yes, I'm aware the thumb is still there, and that is where my good friend crop comes in. Sometimes things happen and you can't get rid of what you want to get rid of, but that's okay. We just crop it just a little bit. And then I still see a shadow in the corner there, so I'm going to heal and just kind of patch it up a little bit. Perfect. And then I'll do 2 more things. I will go into details, this triangle here, and I will up the structure, and this will depend on how good my photo came out. This usually just enhances it. So if I went all the way up, you can see how intense that is. But again, I like to keep things natural looking. Your bowl of cereal never looks like this, so it's a little scary when it looks like that. I don't like it to look too graphic, so. And the other way around, you can make things look muted and less dimension. But something that I feel, just like for my own sake, I think, wow, that looks different. That looks like it's elevated and it looks much better. So then I'm going to check okay for that and then go back into my tools. And then last tool that I really love to use is the selective tool. So for the selective tool, this is great for selecting any part of the photo that you want and either brightening it, bringing up the contrast, lowering the contrast, adjusting the structure, adjusting the saturation. So you can do so many things, but just for one part. If I feel like there's an area of my bowl that's a little darker, so over here, I can bring up the brightness a little bit. From here, I usually am very happy with where I'm at, and I will just export and save it as a copy, and I am done. So if you guys want to see the before and after. I'll put that on the screen right now. Before, once we started, which is so insane, I think. And this is the after, which is crazy. Just those little tweaks, the little time it takes. And honestly, that's it. That's all I really do for my photos. There isn't much to it. It's just all on my little phone, 2 free apps. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and learned something new today. I had so much fun making this video. Be sure to tag me if you use any of these little tips and tricks. I would love to see how your guys' food photos are coming out, and I hope you have a good one.